Alright, hey YouTube. So what you have in front of you here is simple. The initial sentence is the main point, and it's a very simple sentence that proves the point of what the nature of social justice or injustice in our society is. Anybody who thinks that a rich white man and a homeless white man have more in common than a rich white man and a rich black woman is disturbingly delusional, or has never been outside of their house and has watched too much television. Because it's really self-evident, and it doesn't matter whether they've done a study on this or not. In fact, this would not be at all helpful for the narrative that's currently being cast about heavily in academic circles and the media. The simple fact is, the commonality here is between the rich white man and the rich black woman. They have far more in common than the people who are of the same quote race. I say quote race because race doesn't actually exist, but we treat it as though it does, so there you go. Race, and the way we use race, it basically means species, and humans are all one species, so it's meaningless. But yes, the people, the example here with the same gender and the same sex, if these are if these are all relatively equal in accountability, the rich white man and the homeless white man have two things in common. They have both race and gender, whereas the rich white man and the rich black woman only have wealth in common. And yet, the two people that have the wealth in common are going to have overwhelmingly more similar lifestyles, more similar levels of power and respect in society. It's a no-brainer. It really, really is. This one sentence says everything that you could ever possibly need to know about the nature of social justice. It's about money. It's about money. Let me say it one more time. It's about money. I'm not saying there aren't outlier conditions. I'm not saying that there are no racist people. I'm not saying that there are no sexist people. There absolutely are. But the only reason that those things actually have an effect on your life is if you don't have the wealth to change it. The relative imbalances of power originate in wealth. Every single time. When you're confronted with somebody on the street who's holding a brick, that's a different source of power. It is. And in that instant, right before the cops show up, the person with the brick has the power. But, also counter to that narrative, doesn't matter what color the person holding the brick is. Doesn't matter what gender the person holding the brick is. Anyway, that's enough about that. This is the simplest proof you can get, and somehow this is not the point that's spoken of. Nobody wants to talk about wealth being the problem. Nobody wants to acknowledge that wealth is the problem. The academic circles go out of their way to bend over backwards talking about everything except classism. I took a social justice class. Classism was covered in a day. Racism was covered in a month. Why? Well, because the people who are speaking on these points overwhelmingly want money. So the primary cause of injustice is one that they seek, so they don't want to correct it. That's it in a nutshell. See you later.